cool. I got you. Just hope it stays cool. All right, so I'm in the car with Dr. Scott, current president of Pitt State University, and he is following after Gene Bicknell, who kicked this off, and we had Rick Webb and Randy Johnson. And so now, obviously, as the semester approaches, it's time to go with Dr. Scott. So,
well, I got to tell you, I feel honored to be the one following Randy Johnson. She's amazing.
she really is.
She really is amazing. Those other two, I'm not so sure about. This building right here is where I started. Actually, it's Hall.
Okay.
And so I've got a degree in mathematics, and I had just extraordinary professors who taught me in that program. I went on to Oklahoma State from here, and I didn't know, I had to go down there and compete with a lot of folks from all over the world, basically. And boy, they had me ready.
You were
ready to go. I mean, I went down there. I just did a great job on the grades. Very successful in the classroom. Got my master's degree in math from there, but that's where it started. In fact, as a high school student from Baxter Springs, I'd come up here to the math relays. With the stadium right there, I played football in that.
So you played football?
Well, I played for Baxter Springs. I was a right guard.
Oh.
I was a linebacker. You think about 155-pound linebacker. So we played college high here one night in a downpour, and Kathy, my wife, had on my letter jacket.
Oh, man.
Darn near ruined it.
That's awesome.
And
That's
next month we'll have 47 years
Well, that's a
together.
That's a huge number.
How about that?
Congratulations. She's wonderful.
This is a beautiful place here, the Cruisin house.
They were building it when I got here, so you're the first president to live in it.
Right.
And I think you took care of it probably.
Oh, we did. We really took care of it. And Joyce
It's
Syward, she's the one that really looks after the house. We got a guest here tonight, Miles Tenure, one of our great friends from Lawrence. He's a Pitt State grad. Owns a couple of car dealerships in Lawrence, Crown Toyota and Crown VW. I'll give him a shout out. And you probably saw the announcement that Miles and his wife Paula are allowing us to air condition the weed.
Yes.
It's amazing. Cruisin built it, made a huge part of the donation that made it happen. They led the way to make it happen financially, and they built it. And then that building over there, the Robert W. Plaster Center, has just been a phenomenal addition to the campus and to the community, really. And the city's been a partner with that from the get-go. This year, we did the farm show.
I know.
That was pretty cool. You should stop and say hi to Phil.
We're going to stop.
Well, don't.
Oh, God.
You're just going to mess up your camera.
Did it again. What's up, Chief? I got a new car.
Put the camera on Phil.
Well, it's out the window. With how the video board, you're gonna get them straight.
Check it out.
Yeah.
See what it looks like.
Yeah, new video board, air conditioning.
Tell him your dad wants it done by 5.
Hey, you guys enjoy your ride.
Yeah, we will.
We'll see.
We'll get you on video.
On Facebook.
Good seeing you, Phil.
You
See
too,
ya.
guys.
Yeah, me and my old.
So,
Let's see it. The old city manager has any tech in him.
there you go. You got it working.
Are you in
That's
there?
Phil Scott. Yeah, I'm in the frame. Kind of cockeyed, but that's all right.
Well, if it looks like Dr. Scott jumped, it's because I rolled down the window and knocked the camera off again. So
That's
we're going to
good.
have to put the child box on.
Good, because we're doing the tech support on this deal, all right. It's not like we have a director in the back seat.
Yeah, what is that building?
That's the nursing building.
Okay.
And exciting future for that building and exciting past is, we're getting ready to do about a $7.5 million project. But Champions Plaza, that's an example of what a great fundraiser on. Because
Well, there's a few of those around.
you know how I did it? I answered the phone. And this guy said, I've got an idea. We need a new gorilla. And one thing led to another, and then we were out there one day with a big cutout, holding it up on a 2x4 and trying to figure out where it would go, what it would look like. Remember, we brought it in at night. We had it all covered up.
I remember the stealth operation.
And we're really excited about St. Pius. And the Catholic Center has been completely remodeled. They did a great job on that.
I'm going to put you on the spot here.
Mm-hmm.
So what's your favorite part of campus?
There's a building over here, Porter Hall, that is just a beautiful building. Those blue windows, the gables, And in the gables, they have the discipline, like they'll say, law, philosophy, or science. And because it started as a library, Porter Library. Now, my mother went to school here, and so she was in McRae Hall. She's a 1941 graduate of Pitt State. And she knew Walter McRae, and Walter McRae signed her yearbook, so I've got some pretty good roots.
You've got all this. So let's talk about your roots. So you're from Baxter
Springs, Kansas. And Gene Bicknell and I say it all starts in Baxter Springs, Kansas. So believe it or not, in our President's Council, we have 11 members. Two of us are from Baxter Springs.
I've seen
Doug
the pattern.
Ball.
I've seen
Doug
the pattern
Ball.
here. Yeah, Doug's my neighbor.
Yeah.
Great guy.
He's a graduate of Baxter Springs High School and also Pittsburg State. And then Sean Nacarado likes to say, well, now wait a minute, what about liberal Missouri? Because Angela Neary and you are from there. Abby is from Mound City. I think our marketing person, So really, most of us are from very, very small towns.
And your wife, Kathy?
Kathy's from Baxter Springs.
Man.
Kathy and I started dating when she was 14. And I was 15. I wasn't even old enough to drive. And we had to double date. My high school years, we'd come to Pittsburg every once in a while. And one reason would be, you know why? Chicken. But also there was a store down here called Coulter McGuire. High school senior, had to have a sport coat for my pictures. And we came up here and bought a really nice looking sport coat from Coulter McGuire. And that would have been in spring of 1970.
Yeah, so here we are. Block 22 wouldn't have happened without you, man.
Well, we had a lot of team effort to make this one happen. And we went by the Bicknell Center. That's certainly a point of pride. But so is this downtown development. And what you think about it is these are things that are going to make a difference for decades to come. We couldn't have done it by ourselves. You guys probably couldn't have done it by yourself. A private developer couldn't have done it by his or herself. So it took all these partners to come together, and it was super complicated. To me, that was the riskiest project I've ever been involved in my life. But you know what? It really has been a huge addition for our housing. It's been a plus. It's been a great partnership though, and we are everything the city does to improve is an advantage for Pitt State. It's another reason to come to Pitt State. So even to the parking or to the bike trails and walking paths that are around the neighborhood where I'm going to end up living. Those are all things that are advantageous. The addition of restaurants. Think about the number of restaurants in the last 10, 12 years that have opened up. But here's a great example. Sign Brothers.
Yeah.
Talked to Larry Seward one day and he said, Dr. Scott, why we're down there? We're down there because you're down there. What I'd like too is just the traditional. So Harry's is there. Autos is there.
Autos.
We're regular, I was in practice not too long ago at Harry's, and Kathy and I go to Autos periodically. Those are important to have those unique restaurants.
I got here at 12. You won the championship in 11.
Right.
What was that run like? I missed all that.
Yeah, that was pretty special. With so many things had to fall into place, and boy, that year they did, and it was a lot of fun. That year was the year that the championship game ended up on commencement. So guess what we did? We said, well, gosh, we better move commencement. We got the, pardon my language, crap beaten out of us in social media. So then what we did after we took a beating for about 24 hours, we said, we heard you. We're going to do something different. We're going to reestablish those times, and we're going to add a ceremony on Sunday for any of the kids who go play football. They can come back. We'll have an event, or anybody wants to go attend the game.
We'll work with you.
So that commencement started just as the game was ending.
Literally.
And we walked in, and people got the radios going or whatever, and Dr. Olson gets up, our provost, and said, now we know there's a game underway, but let's keep in mind this is a very important ceremony. And somebody in the back of the room yells, we won! It was like, oh my gosh, and everybody cheers, It was a moment.
Hey, that's just another memory, Who are some people that have like influenced you while you've been there in your life?
Well, we went by Yates Hall a while ago and talked about that a little bit, but I had some really great professors there. And
were you always just into math? I mean, was it your thing?
It was
math
it
brain?
wasn't necessarily easy to me, but it's something I enjoyed
Made
doing.
sense.
I also saw its value. So I was very blessed to have some really strong professors there. Don Hyde was somebody who really taught you're going to die. But one of my favorite classes was Advanced Calc 1. So I really enjoyed that, and the way he taught it was really cool.
The teachers make so much difference.
They do. Now, Harold Thomas will say, you didn't do so well in probability statistics. That's right, Harold, I didn't. But that was important to me. A guy named Paul Parker was a department chair over in education. And he's the person that when I decided to go get my doctorate, I called him and I said, would you be a reference for me? And he said, yeah, I'll be a reference for you, but by the way, I've got a job open. That phone call, 2 months later, I had a job at Pittsburg State University teaching educational technology. And so then 5 years later, I was in his job. He had retired.
Wow.
And I was a department chair. So you think about that one phone call when he said, yeah, I'll write a reference for you. And I got a job. Isn't that something? So he was very critical, very important to me. And of course, I followed Tom Bryant kind of through the cycle. And Tom's been a great friend and supporter. And he's also, I tease him about this, but I say, you've been a great past president. It's like, it didn't mean I wanted to be a past president, but eventually we are. And he's been extremely supportive of me, kind of behind the scenes. And then, of course, a guy named Andy Tompkins. And Andy was the commissioner of K-12. He was also the president of the Kansas Board of Regents. And Andy hired me into my first administrative job. And that happened when Don Wilson left the university. Then I was hired to be an interim chair by Andy Tompkins. We need to mention something about the amphitheater. That's a beautiful facility. And, we have so many different events on the campus, but one of the most important events we do and one of the most meaningful is when we commission second lieutenants. Of course, General Abishon is the one that led the way to make this happen. Ken Brock played a critical role. I believe Cruisin built it. But you go down there, and when they commission those officers, those second lieutenants, and moms and girlfriends, sometimes wives or daughters even, pin those bars on those guys' shoulders or gals' shoulders. Tears are in their eyes, and they're going to go off and serve America. I'm telling you, it's really meaningful.
How do you spend your time? What's some stuff nobody knows about Dr. Scott?
Because my brother Lee, I call him my Walmart brother, as he says, your job is really a way of life. Hobby-wise, really my hobby is my exercising.
Okay.
That's what I really enjoy doing.
Physical
That's the
fitness.
therapy for me. So I use these trails all the time. I feel like I've lived a life of purpose. And some people would like the kinds of things we've done, and some people would not like the things we've done at Pitt State. But I have felt like there's a higher calling to serve the community, serve the campus, serve the families and students. And it's been gratifying.
So you made an announcement a week or two ago, a big life change for you. Can you tell us a little bit about what the announcement was and what it means for you and your family?
June 30, 2022 is my last day as president. And so, you think about doing this job that will be 13 years in this job. I mentioned earlier, that's about double the time of a college president right now. It's a very, very complicated role, a very political role, and it's just hard to manage those roles for that length of time. But I've been very fortunate because of all the people in the community, the donors, the students. We've got an incredible leadership team, and we've got faculty and staff that know what we're all about, so that's made it work. I've always had this thought that I'm a steward. I'm a steward of this place and of this time. And so do the very best I can with good motives and try to get some really good outcomes. And I think we've done that.
When you talk about things that you're going to be proud of, some of the work we've done together is the stuff I'll be the most proud of.
Absolutely.
You've always had an open mind, and you've always put the people first, whether they were students and faculty or the people in this community. And I think people know that about you, and I think that's what makes you one of the things that makes you special to me.
And our mission statement is pretty clear. Our job is to create transformational experiences for our students and our community. And there's not a lot of universities that would have the community embedded in a very simple mission statement. That's who we are, and I think that's really fit us. The thing that I've been able to do is you go all over the country to alumni gatherings. We were in San Antonio one night, and this guy said, this is a little bit humorous too, he said the 6 best years of my life were at Pittsburg State University. But he meant that.
Well, you get a guy like Homer Cole, he would always grab me and pull me over, and I was like, okay, what's Homer got? Because Homer, he was mayor, he was on the commission. There's a lot of things
sure.
Homer and I could talk about.
Sure.
And all he talked about was Pitt State.
Homer was a legendary figure. When he used to call me, and we'd have 45-second phone calls, and it was really special because he would say things like, hey, I just want you to know that I love you, appreciate what you're doing. Isn't that neat though? Well, one of the as I go around and talk to people and thank them, there's certain ones, that everybody knows in this community. They just step up on a regular basis. And a good friend now of mine, of course, is Harvey Dean. And gosh, what a great company he's built. And now that company.
And he's in your business. He's an educator.
He is, and he created a business to make a difference. What a joy it's been to get to know him and Sharon, this whole family. That's special. And then right across the street, or not too far down, is Miller's.
Oh yeah.
And what a great family they are, and what a difference they've made for all of us in town. And Bill and Dottie Miller's name is on our small theater over in the Bicknell. And that's one of the few places that you'll see their name. And but boy, they stepped up in so many projects in so many ways that we don't talk about, not supposed to talk about. But we're just really appreciative of them, and they've been great colleagues and great friends along the way. And I see that coming too in terms of other businesses. I've gotten to know Larry Seward well, and Larry's built quite a business. Brandy Johnson, and now a young entrepreneur, and so you just think about how that gets regenerated and continues to happen through this community because of the people that we've seen, people like Adam Endicott, Vince Van Beezer, the companies that they've built, they're really successful companies and great members of our community. But there'll be a time where those transition to someone else. And boy, I hope, like Harvey did, those can all stay within this region. They can stay in our
Are you going to stay within this region?
I am staying in the region.
So, any parting words for the community, the university, just in general?
I think the thing that people ought to be aware of is what a special place this is, and how well it works, and how well we work together. I talk to colleagues all over the country about town-gown relationships and what communities are like that they live in. And this is a very special place with some great people that have made some things happen. Kendall Gammon talks about this. He just talks about expressing gratitude, how important it is to express gratitude. But it's important for us to say thanks to people. And for us all to recognize just what a special place this is.
Thanks to you for doing this, and I just hope you have a great last year, and make sure you stay a friend of mine, because you meant a lot to me. And if you need anything from the city, you have any good ideas, you have something we should be doing, we're not, just make sure you let us know.
Yeah.